Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today doing a Thunder Dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because we just got Thunder Dragon Colossus back to 2 on the most recent list. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of our notification squad, and definitely check the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to start with 3 copies of Thunder Dragon Dark. Thunder Dragon Dark is definitely a 3 of in the build with the ability to quick effect discard this card to add another copy itself from your deck to your hand. And if this card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can actually add a Thunder Dragon card from your deck to your hand, except for the copy of this card, but you only use 1 effect this card per turn and only once that turn. But this card is amazing in the deck to help you basically activate a Thunder monster effect in the hand so you can summon out your copy of Colossus. We then play 2 copies of Thunder Dragon Roar. Roar is really good as a 2 of in the build, but I only feel like you need 2 copies of this card. It has the effect that you can discard this card to add to your hand 1 of your Thunder Dragon cards that's banished or in the graveyard, except another copy of this card. And if this card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can actually special summon a copy of a Thunder Dragon monster from your deck in defense position, but return it back to the hand during the end phase. It's usually not going to stick around that long, but it's still really good to be able to use this to instantly get a Thunder Dragon on the field. We then play a single copy of Thunder Dragon Hawk. Hawk is amazing in the deck, but you only need a single copy in the build. It has the ability you can discard this card to special summon 1 of your Thunder Dragon monsters that's banished or in the graveyard, which does take a little bit of a setup, which is why we just play this card as a 1 of in the build. Also, if this card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can actually shuffle any number of cards from your hand into the deck, then draw the same number of cards, which is a great ability to instantly fix your hand, which is really cool. We then play 3 copies of Thunder Dragon. Thunder Dragon is such a classic card released in one of my favorite packs ever, Metal Raider, and this card is really good because you can actually discard this card to add up to 2 more copies of itself from your deck to your hand, which is great to help you go in for your fusion plays. We then play 3 copies of Lubellion. Lubellion is amazing in this deck as a 3F because this card has a really cool effect that it can't be normal summoner set. It must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard by attributing a level 6 or higher Dark Dragon monster. This card also has the ability you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to add a Bestial monster from your deck to your hand, basically one of the level 6 monsters. And also, when this card's on your side of the field during the main phase, you can place a branded continuous spell or trap from your deck face up on your side of the field, which is an awesome effect to help us get to our copy of Branded Beast or Branded Regained. We then play a single copy of Magnemite. Magnemite is so cool as a 1-of in the deck because this card helps you search out dragons directly from your deck to your hand, which is such a powerful ability to instantly get the exact dragon you need from your deck to your hand. Plus it helps you banish your copies of your Thunder Dragon cards from the graveyard, which is amazing. This card has the ability, just like all of your other level 6 Bestials, that you can target a light or dark monster in either player's graveyard and banish it, and it's a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster, which is an amazing ability to be able to use this card almost like a hand trap, to be able to just instantly special summon it to your side of the field. We'll make a single copy of Druis Worm. Druis Worm is a great spot removal card in the deck because when it leaves the field, it helps you just get rid of a card off the field. We'll make a single copy of Sawnir. Sawnir is just really good in the deck as a 1-of as well, as when this card does touch the graveyard, it lets you send a Bestial monster or a branded spell or trap from your deck to the grave. We then play a single copy of Baldrake. Baldrake is really good as a 1-of in the deck because this card is a great effect to be able to just help you spot remove extra deck monsters off the field. We then play 3 copies of Imseti. The Horus package works so good in this deck to be able to help you get monsters out on your side of the field and also help you get monsters into the graveyard, as all of your Horus monsters share a common effect, and if you control King Sarcophagus, you can special summon this card from the graveyard to your side of the field, and Imseti is definitely a 3-of because this card lets you send this card and another card from your hand to the graveyard to instantly get King Sarcophagus from your deck to your hand, plus you get to draw a card, which is so cool. We then play a single copy of Happy. Happy is just an additional name to be able to send to the graveyard off King's Sarcophagus, so we can get 2 level 8s on our side of the field to go in for the zombie vampire or any other level 8 or rank 8 that we need to go into using a copy of Happy and Imseti. We then play a single copy of Arch Nemesis Iskantos. Iskantos is really cool because this card is actually searchable off of Melody of Awakening Dragons, which is so cool that you can actually search this card off of Melody. This card is a crazy crazy powerful effect that it cannot be normal summoned or set. It must first be special summoned from your hand by banishing 3 monsters with different types from the graveyard and or face up on the field. It cannot be destroyed by card effects, and you can also declare a monster type on the field and destroy all monsters on the field with that type. Also, until the end of the next turn, neither player can special summon monsters with that type, which is insane depending on what you're playing against. We then play a single copy of Chaos Dragon Levineer. This card is also searchable with Melody and a really good Chaos boss monster. It takes banishing 3 light and or dark monsters to special summon this card, which is easy to be able to do in this deck and actually helps out a lot with your Thunder Dragons. With this card having the ability, if you only banish light, you can special summon a monster from the graveyard in defense position. If you only banish dark, you shuffle a random card from your opponent's hand to the deck. If you banish both light and dark, you destroy up to 2 cards on the field non-targeting, which is so cool. We then play a single copy of Darkest Diabolos. This card is really cool to combo with your copy of your Lubellium, because your copy of Lubellium will actually tribute a monster, which will then activate this card's ability to instantly special summon itself out to your side of the field, which is so cool to be able to do. And I love that about this card's effect, that basically if a dark monster you control is tributed, you can just special summon this card from your graveyard, which is just such a cool effect, or your hand, which is such a cool ability to instantly get this card out on the field. We then play a single copy of Chaos Emperor, the Dragon of Armageddon. This card is really good in the deck, and all 4 of these are actually searchable off of Melody and are our Melody targets in the deck, and they're just really good to be able to play in the build. This card is really good to banish both a light and a dark monster from your graveyard to special summon this card to your side of the field, and it's overall just a great boss monster in this deck. We then play a single copy of Starliege. Starliege is a good 1-of in the build that has the ability you can send any number of dragon monsters from your hand or face up from field to graveyard to add a dragon monster from your deck to your hand whose level equals the total original level of those monsters sent to the graveyard. You can also banish this card from the graveyard and target a level 8 light or dark dragon monster in the grave and add it back to your hand, helping you recover a bunch of different cards out of the grave, which is really nice. We then play a single copy of Black Dragon Collapse Serpent and a single copy of White Dragon Wyvern Buster. These cards are really good in the deck at 1 each, because you basically banish a light monster or a dark monster from the graveyard to summon them out to your side of the field, and then when they touch the graveyard, they search one another, which is really nice. We then play 2 copies of Batteryman Solar. Batteryman Solar is a really good normal summon for this deck. This card has the ability, if this card is normal or special summon, you can send a Thunder monster from your deck to the graveyard, helping you get the exact Thunder Dragon you need in the grave, which is amazing. This card helps out a lot in the build overall, but you just need 2 copies in this deck. So, that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Gold Sarcophagus. Gold Sarcophagus is really good as a 1-of in the deck to basically banish one of your monsters from the deck so that you get your Thunder Dragon monsters effects to go off. We then play a single copy of Thunder Dragon Fusion. Thunder Dragon Fusion helps us go in for our copy of Titan, which is why I play this card as a 1-of in the build, and it's just really good in the deck overall to help us fusion summon a Thunder Fusion monster from our X deck by shuffling the fusion materials listed on it back into the deck from among cards on the field, in the graveyard, and or face-up banish cards, helping you recycle resources while also summoning out a copy of Titan. We then play a single copy of Chaos Space. This card is basically Rhoda for the deck, which is amazing. I think you can send a light or a dark monster from your hand to the graveyard and then add a light or a dark monster that cannot be normal summoned or set from your deck to your hand with a level from 4 to 8 and with a different attribute, which is really easy to do in this build. And there's so many different cards in the deck you can actually search with this card's effect. We then play just a single copy of King Sarcophagus. You only need a single copy in this build because you can search it out with your copy of Seti. And this card is just really important for the deck to be able to activate on your side of the field, help you get monsters out of your hand, and also get the Horus cards into the graveyard so you can just bring them back to your side of the field and make rank 8s. We then play a single copy of Branded Regained. Branded Regained is amazing as a 1-of in the build, because this card is really if a light or dark monster is banished except during a damage step, you can actually target one of those monsters and place that monster on the bottom of the deck, and if you do, draw a card. And also it has the ability to help you swarm your Bestials out on your side of the field, because if your opponent normally special summons a monster, you can actually target a Bestial monster in the grave and special summon it, which is a really cool effect. We then play 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness is basically a free draw 2 in the deck. You want some of your cards actually banished, like your Thunder Dragons. So this card comes in extremely handy in the deck to help you draw 2 cards and just dig into the deck. We then play 3 copies of the Melody of Awakening Dragons. Melody is just so powerful in this deck to help you search out the exact dragon monster that you need from your deck to your hand, and there's a lot of targets in the deck, like your copy of your Skantos, your copies of Chaos Dragon Levinair, your copy of the Chaos Emperor, and even Darkest Diabolos is a searchable target in the deck to search all of your copies of Melody, while also helping you get a card in the graveyard. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, I'm just going to be playing one, and that's going to be a single copy of Branded Beast. Branded Beast is really good as a 1-of in the build, just to help you pop a card on the field, because once per turn during the main phase, if you control a bestial monster, you can actually tribute a dragon monster and target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. And during the end phase, you can actually target a branded continuous spell or trap in the graveyard and place it face up on your side of the field, helping you get your copy of Regained back to your side of the field after you send it to the graveyard off Sawnier's effect. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with Thunder Dragon Colossus. Thunder Dragon Colossus is finally back at 2, and I'm so excited this card is actually back at 2 because it's one of my favorite boss monsters, honestly. This card has the ability it must either be Fusion Summon or Special Summon. During a turn, a Thunder monster's effect was activated in the hand by tributing any Thunder effect monster that's a non-fusion monster, in which case you do not have to use Polymerization. But the main reason you play this card and why it's so powerful is cards cannot be added from the main deck to your opponent's hand except by drawing them, basically making this card a walking mistake. And if this card would be destroyed by battle by card effect, you can banish a Thunder monster from your graveyard instead, making it so your Thunder Dragons actually go off, which is so cool. Then make just a single copy of Titan. Titan is really good in the deck, but the extra deck is so tight that I just decided to play a single copy of this card. It's really easy to summon with your copy of Thunder Dragon Fusion, but I feel like one copy is really all you need in this deck now that we have Colossus back at 2. Then make a single copy of Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel is one of the main boss monsters of the deck, so you can easily put light and dark into this card, and you don't even have to use a tuner to make this card. You can just treat a light or dark monster as a tuner. It spot removes cards off the field, and depending on the different attributes between light and dark you put into this card, depends on the effects that you get, but this card is amazing and really tough for your opponent to deal with. And then make a single copy of the Zombie Vampire, because it mills a total of 8 cards, 4 off the top of the opponent's deck and 4 off our deck, and then you get to special summon a monster. It's very easy to go into with the Horus package, and it's just a really good card, so we also get to bring back a monster that was milled to our side of the field, which is amazing, and it doesn't even matter if it was the opponent, we can just bring it back to the field. Then make a single copy of number 90. Number 90 is really good in the deck just to be a monster negate in the build. One copy of Heretic Dragon King of Atum. This card is really easy to bring out to your side of the field using your bestial monsters because it just requires 2 level 6 dragon monsters. And this card has the ability once per turn. You can actually detach or until this card to special summon a dragon monster from your deck and make its attack and defense 0. But this card cannot attack the turn you activate that effect. But this card just helps you out so much to get your dragons in circulation. And then make a single copy of Typhon. Typhon is amazing in this build, but you do have to play Typhon as a 1-of, as it belongs in just about every single deck because it's so easy to go into. And play a single copy of Access Code because it gets absolutely massive and can pop multiple cards on the field. And play a single copy of Unicorn to spin stuff. One copy of the Dark Charmer. Dark Charmer is very good in this deck to help you bring back monsters so you can link climb. One copy of SP Little Knight. If you don't have this card, you can play a copy of Zeus. You can play another copy of Titan. You can play a copy of Nightmare Phoenix. This card is still really good, but it is a little bit pricey, so that's why you can change it out for like Nightmare Phoenix if you want to, but it is a double interruption if you do have it. Then play a single copy of IP Masquerena. IP is really good to help you going for Unicorn or SP Little Knight during the opponent's turn. One copy of Heretic Seal. Heretic Seal is really good in the deck to help you spin cards off your opponent's side of the field. And then finally, play a single copy of Striker Dragon for Black and White Dragon, because we can easily use Black and White Dragon going for this card. They'll search the other copy, and then once you do, you can banish your copy of your one that's in the graveyard. You'll summon out the second one and use Striker Dragon plus the one you just summoned out to make your copy of Heretic Seal, giving you basically a spin off the field and a special summon, which is really nice. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed. This deck is super fun. If you guys have never played Thunder Dragon before, you should definitely give this deck a try, especially with Colossus back at 2, which is really exciting. It's going to probably go to 3 on the next list, but it's still so cool to actually see Colossus back. It's such a cool card, and it just has such a fantastic artwork. So that's good for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. hit the bell on there so you can become part of the notification squad. We'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.